Hi everybody, this is my last video for 2 or 3 weeks. I go away tomorrow, and I thought I'd just quickly do this before I go. I, I don't know whether I'm just unlucky where Hornby stock is concerned. This is the GWR Class 800. I've always wanted, this is the 5-car set. I've always wanted this particular set, but I wasn't prepared to pay Hornby £400. I don't think it was worth it. So I waited and waited and waited, and I managed to get this. It's brand new, but it still cost me £300, which I still think it's a bit on the high side. But yeah, my intentions were to put sound in this. And Lego Man Biffo was at Hitachi and recorded the actual sounds from the train itself with the help of Hitachi technical people, and they released the sounds last week. And I had a couple of lock sound decoders, and I bought the sound projects off him. I re-blew them and put them in this, and that's where my problem started. The sound chips were supposed to neatly fit in here. You could probably just make out the decoder now. 3 screws, releases this grey part, not the body, just this bottom bit. Here is where the 8-pin socket is, with the remaining part of the circuit board which controls the lights. Now, I wrongly thought I could put a decent speaker in here with the decoder. How wrong was I? The depth does not allow for a decent size speaker. Neither does the width, and it's about that wide between those 2 screw points there. So it's about that wide, and the decoder itself takes a large amount of this space up, and there's nowhere else, absolutely nowhere else, to install a sound decoder for speaker. If you're just making it DCC, then yeah, fit in nicely there. But if you're thinking of putting sound in, you need to make alterations. I eventually put the speakers inside the body, behind this panel, put twin speakers in there, which you can't see. Strange enough, if I did a bit of cut some of the plastic away of the moulding that you can't see unless you look through the back, I can just about fit in an EM2 speaker, which I may do one day in the future. But nevertheless, I managed to get 2 speakers in there. That area is useless if you want to install sound. Something else you need to be made aware of, has really nice directional lights, and the directional lights work really well. It also has coach lights in the 2 dummy and drive car plus the 3 coaches. They're not very bright, and because the windows are dark, it doesn't light up very well, but nevertheless it's got them. But you can't turn them off and on, as with other coaches. You can turn cab lights on and off independent of the directional lights, but you can't with the coach lights, which is an LED strip in the roof. They're on permanently, And what I might do is put a micro switch in, which I can switch the lights on and off. That would be really easy to do. So I can turn the lights on and off, because to get the power directly from the pickup. So the pickup not only controls the directional lights, this is a dummy car by the way, and in the drive car, the motor, it also controls the lights here. I suppose I could also wire them up to the white wire, so when I turn the directional lights on and off, they go off. Something I can look at, but I might just stick a micro switch in. They've also got 3 capacitors. One is connected to the board here, which I'm assuming helps the motor over dirty track or points, and there are 2 connected to the LED strip. So when you turn the lights off, 2-3 seconds, when you cut the power rather, 2-3 seconds, the lights dim and go out. So again, I assume that'll be good for going over dirty track and so on. But the problems I found to supply power to the LED strip and to this light here, there are 4 prongs, sprung prongs in the roof. So when you put the body on, the 4 prongs go into 4 recesses on the body. The idea of the prongs, I assume, is to make a really good contact. However, they don't. And I couldn't get the internal lights to work. This light also creates cab lights. So the cab lights up as well. I mean, it looks quite good. But there's a little circuit board that controls the wiring from the pickups directed to the white and red lights down at the bottom, and this one here, and to this LED strip. One of the boards was faulty. One did the powered end, and one of the wires was off, so it wouldn't power these. This one, there's a fault in the little tiny circuit board. So what I had to do is rewire it and bypass this little circuit board direct to the LED. The powered car works fine, but this one, or vice versa, I can't remember, and this one I had to rewire. So the pickup wires go into this little circuit board which powers the LEDs, and this light here, I rewired from that little circuit board directly to the LED strip to work fine. So when I did all of that, and I managed to find out how to install speakers because of the insufficient space here, I put it all back together and I got the sound but no movement. And this was after having to mess about rewiring it because of wires coming off, the little circuit board faulty. It supplied power to this but not to the LED strip, and part of it failed. So then what I found out when I took the top off the powered car to find out why I had sound but no movement, and one of the wires had come off the motor, and it very, very flimsily soldered on, and the wire, God blind, it must be tightening up on wire. Very, very small piece of wire connecting from the motor to the board, and it was really taut. I couldn't believe how taut it was. So I replaced that piece of wire with a longer piece, and then it worked. And then putting it back together, all the pantograph fell apart. I looked at this one to see how to put it back together again, and that fell apart. And then it took me ages to get all this back together, and then I discovered, you see this wire here, part of the pantograph, that bit there, on this bit, piece missing here. Now on this occasion I'm going to give Homey the benefit of the doubt, and I could have broken that bit off while I was fixing other parts of this. But nevertheless, bit missing there. Now, because I paid 300 for this and not the 400, I thought it was worthwhile repairing it. But it doesn't seem to matter which bit I repaired. I always ended up with another problem, such as the windscreen wipers falling off. Oh dear dear. But anyway, it's all back together and it's all working. Sounds really nice. When I get my practice layout up and running, I'll show you this running. With regards to the shed, I was let down again by yet another joiner, so I gave up in the end. What I did, I went to a shed manufacturing company and I purchased one directly from them, and they're coming to install it for me, supply and fitted. Cost me a little bit more, but I was fed up with being let down by joiners. But they can't do that until the 28th of next month. So we'll be starting the test layout and my practice layout in the shed after the 28th. I'll start putting that together. I'll show you videos of that. But yeah, I wanted to share this with you, this Hitachi, in case people are thinking of buying one and putting sound in. It's not that easy. It's very hard, very fiddly. If you're just putting a decoder in it, be aware that all these parts and the circuit boards at the front and side are extremely flimsy. And just be aware of the wiring, especially to the motor. It's extremely taut, and they must have cut back an awful lot on wiring, charged by the centimetre probably. So that's it. Again, I'm going away tomorrow, so you won't hear from me for a couple of weeks. That's probably a good thing. So yeah, thanks very much for your time. Bye for now.